everyone, I'm Kat Atienza, coach and co-owner of Session in Brooklyn. This is Trainer of the Month Club with Well+Good. Today we're doing a full body strength and mobility workout. So we've got 2 circuits, 3 movements in each one. You can do them all body weight. We're gonna go through each circuit 3 times through. Our work time is 45 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest and transition. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with a nice quick warm up. We're actually just gonna start at the back of our space with a nice little jog here. So shake out those shoulders, whatever you wanna do, whatever feels good. Light little jog, light on the feet, shrug it out. If you're not quite ready to jog yet, you can just take it to a couple of knee hugs, a couple quad pulls, whatever you need to just get that internal body nice and warm. We're here for another 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna take it into knee hugs all together. We hug that knee in close towards that chest, pull it in close, and then drop it down. Just take it walking forward if you have that space available to you. If not, just take it where you are standing. Jog it back. We'll go one more round here. Last one. Jog it back. All right, we're going for those hamstring scoops. So one foot is in front of the other. We hinge at the hips, send those hips back, front foot stays flexed, we scoop it up. Couple steps in between, and we alternate. Making sure that front foot stays flexed so you really feel the benefits of that stretch in the backs of those legs. We'll go one more each side. Last one. Awesome. All right, so we've got a single leg deadlift today, so let's get that hinge pattern in our bodies. Let's start with good mornings. Hands come on the back of our head. We send the hips back, feet are hips width distance apart, soft bend in the knees, feel that stretch in the hamstrings, and then we exhale to squeeze the glutes to come up to stand. Let's do that 5 more times here. For 4, 3, keep that back engaged. Last 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna offset that with some squats so you feel the difference there. So now feet are still hips width distance apart. We sink down, we sit in that imaginary chair behind us, we drive through those heels, come back up to stand. Knees stay tracking over your middle toes. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, and last 1. All right, so we're gonna get into that first circuit. Again, we've got 3 movements here, 3 times through, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest. We're starting with a squat to a knee drive. We're there in 3, 2, 1. Weight is in those heels, we squat, we bring it up, we hold, stabilize in that standing leg, then back down. Notice every time I step down, I'm not shifting my weight just into one side. Weight is distributed evenly in both heels. And then I shift that weight to that standing leg, hold and stabilize. We're about halfway here. We exhale every time we exert that effort, every time we come up from that squat. Squat, and then we hold. Squat, and then we hold. Then we're back into that squat. We've got 5 more seconds for 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Second movement, we've got a push-up to world's greatest stretch. I'll talk you through it. Meet me in a high plank. We'll start with that push-up first, then you'll step it into a low runner's lunge, and I'll guide you there with that movement. We set up for that nice strong high plank. We're there in 2 and 1. So I'm gonna start with that push-up, lead with my chest, use that exhale to press up and away from the floor. I step my right foot through into a low runner's lunge, the left hand stays planted down, then I open up and rotate to that right side. Feel a nice stretch in your hip, in your glutes, and in your thoracic spine. We go ahead and switch. We add in that rotation, then we set back up for that push-up. You're taking it from the knees, same idea, lead with that chest, core stays engaged. Then you can always reset and go into that world's greatest stretch. Keep it alternating, one side then the other, then reset back into that push-up. You can always drop that back knee as well to support you here. Last one. All right, our third movement, we're flipping over onto our backs. We've got a little sequence. We've got 2 glute bridges to 2 straight arm sit-ups. Let's go ahead and lay down, set up for that glute bridge, driving those heels into the ground to send our hips up. Let's go. 2 bridges, 1 and 2. Feet stay where they are, arms come up above our chest. We sit up, arms come past the ears, biceps by the ears, roll it down. That's 1 rep. We're back up. And then back down. Let's get back into that glute bridge. Here we go. You always have that option here as well to take it to a straight leg sit-up. Control that lower down at the top of that sit-up. Here we go. Last 2 sit-ups here. And go ahead and rest. Back to the top. We're starting with that squat to that knee drive. We know what we're doing here, so let's focus on that form, stay in control of those movements, and have some fun, right? All right, we're there in 3, 2, 1. We start with that squat, drive, hold. Awesome, squat. Really think about keeping that core engaged. It's really gonna support you in that single leg hold. Trying not to round that upper body forward as well in that squat. I know lots of things to think about when we're doing these movements that we think, we do these every day. It's really important to just think, what am I working here? How can I use my breath to make sure that I'm doing this movement properly? 2 and 1. All right, back to that push-up, world's greatest stretch. I hope you're enjoying this one. World's greatest stretch is the best stretch. Let's get set up. We're in that high plank. We start with that push-up. We're there in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm gonna start with my left now, making sure that front knee is in a 90-degree angle as well, and you're not lunging too far forward there. All right, going back in for that push-up. And every time you step into that low runner's lunge, try to make it step softly. Try not to slam that foot down. Like I said, always focusing on that form. Moving with that breath. And enjoy this stretch. I just snuck a push-up there in between. All right, 1 more rep on that push-up. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, we lay it down. We've got those 2 glute bridges to 2 sit-ups. Pick your variation with that sit-up. Knees bent or legs can be straight out. I'm gonna take the straight out variation. We're into those bridges. In 3, 2, and 1. Send the legs out. We go for that sit-up. Arms come straight up. Lead it through. Exhale at the top as we press. Control, lower, down. Try not to plop down. Back down, and we reset. Making sure we're not sending the hips up too high to where we're feeling that in that low back as well. All right, let's get 1 more round here. Nice and slow and controlled. Feeling this in our glutes, in our core. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we got 1 more time through, starting back with that squat to the knee drive. Now you really know what you're doing. Let's focus on that form. Let's stay focused here. 3, 2, here we go. So just some reminders here. We're not letting those heels lift up off the ground, especially if you're going into that deeper squat. I want you to think quads or your thighs are parallel to that ground, making sure that you're not kipping in the low back to bring yourself back up to stand. It should all be powered through those glutes. Hold and stabilize, don't rush through it. Let's get 1 more each side. Last one for 3, 2, and 1. All right, 2 more movements. Let's get back into that push-up with the world's greatest stretch. Starting with that push-up once again. Shrug those shoulders out, get yourself ready. Last push-ups of the day. We're there in 3, 2, 1. Hands stay stacked under those shoulders. Let's go. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you press. Step it through. Enjoy that stretch. Back into that push-up. Keep Keeping that core nice and locked in that whole time. Remember, you are holding a plank this whole time. Even if you're working on a modified push-up as well, that core stays locked in that whole time. We've got just enough time to get one more round in. Last one, and rest, all right? One more movement, then we get a little bit of a longer rest before we get into that second circuit. Let's get set up for that glute bridge. Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Exhale, squeeze glutes at the top, control that lower down. We go 2 here. However you're setting up for that sit up, let's go. Use that exhale. Inhale, control, lower, really feel your core working here. And your upper back because, you know, your arms are straight up. Remember those arm variations, you always have palms in the ground, elbows in the ground, or arms straight up for that added challenge in that glute bridge. All right, 10 more seconds, just enough time to get one more round here. Last sit up, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Awesome job, y'all. One down, we got one more to go. Getting into our second circuit. Same format, 3 movements, 3 times through, 45 on, 15 to rest. So we've got a reverse lunge to a deadlift, we've got a hinge to YWs, and then we've got a side plank variation. Let's get into that reverse lunge with that single leg deadlift. I warned you, we had a deadlift. We're there in 3, 2, 1. We start with that reverse lunge, step it back to 90-degree angles with both knees. We drive through the heel of that front foot to bring ourselves back up. Stabilize on that standing leg. We have that in our bodies now after that first round. Then we send our hips back, that back leg lifts. We create a capital letter T with our body, bring it back up. That's that single leg deadlift. You always have that option to step it up and then take that good morning. So we're still getting that lunge to hinge pattern. We're halfway, so we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. Step it back, drive through the heel of that front foot, stabilize, or you can tap down if you need. Then we go for that single leg deadlift. Just making sure that our hip is not opening up to the side. Everything stays parallel to that ground. You feel that stretch in that front one. Okay, second movement, same hinge pattern, but now both feet are gonna be here on the ground, just like what we did with those good mornings. We're gonna take it from a Y to a W and then back up to stand. All right, we're there in 2 and 1. So as we hinge, our arms come into that Y, then we go for a W, back to the Y, then back up to stand. You should really feel that engagement in your hamstrings and in your core as you hold this strong hinge. As always, we're moving slowly and with control. We're not rushing through the movements here. Quality, quality, quality of these reps. This should feel awesome for your upper back, for your hamstrings, and your core should be firing. Let's make sure our thumbs are facing up in that Y as well. Little note here, just pay attention to where you're looking and how that back feels. Next time through, we'll talk a little bit more about your upper back positioning there. All right, third movement, we've got a side plank with a knee drive leg lift. So we're gonna start with a strong side plank, and then I'll walk you through it here. Elbow stays stacked underneath. You can be up on your hand. We're up in that side plank in 2 and 1. So we're holding in this side plank here. Then we're gonna take that knee, drive it up towards the chest. I'm not crunching in. Everything stays locked in this side plank. Then I bring it back down. Then I lift that leg, not super high, just till I feel that engagement in my glute, and then back down. We take it to that knee drive, then that leg lift. Option here, drop that bottom knee, take that same movement pattern. Knee drive, leg lift. So we're working the core, we're working the glutes. I love me some core and glutes. I forgot to mention, we're switching halfway. So let's go ahead and switch. We're a little over halfway now. And breathe, keep that side lifted. That leg lift doesn't need to be big. 2 and 1. All right, we are back to the top. We're gonna do a reverse lunge. With that deadlift, we'll switch at halfway, so about 23 seconds there. All right, we get set up. We're there in 2 and 1. We'll switch halfway. We step it back to 90-degree angles with both knees. We step it up, stabilize on that standing leg, send that leg back, toe faces down to the ground. We hold, soft bend in that standing leg, bring it back up. We're gonna switch at halfway, so at about 23 seconds here. Last one on this side, then we go ahead and switch. Step it back, drive through that front heel. And remember, you always have that option when you come back up to take it into that bilateral hinge. Last 2 and 1. All right, back to that Hinge YW. Same movement pattern, both feet are on the ground now. 3, 2, 1. Set the hips back, arms come up in that Y, soft bend in those knees. Draw that Y, draw that W, back up to the Y, and then back up, reset. Added challenge here, you can stay entirely in that hinge and focus on getting those YWs, but if you're feeling some sensitivity in the low back, I want you to just focus on your form here, take it to that YW, and then back up from that hinge. Every time you come back up, your core is engaged to bring you back all the way up to stand. We're not sending the hips through, hips stay here. Think about where you're looking directly down. You're not rounding forward, you're not looking up. One more rep here. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, last one. Back at that side plank knee drive. I'm gonna start on the other side to start. Everything is stacked on top of each other. We're there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Go for that knee drive. We're not crunching in. Little lift. Drive. Little lift. You should feel that engagement in that top glute. Last one here, and then we switch. 2, 1. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Back up. Make sure you're in a nice, strong side plank before you get started with that drive and that lift. And a reminder, you always have that option to drop that bottom knee. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, one more time through. Let's get started with that reverse lunge to that single leg deadlift. Shake it out, shake it all out. Let's reset, refocus. Let's focus on that form. We're there in 2 and 1. Here we go. We step it back. Back up, stabilize, challenge yourself on this one. Maybe you try to stabilize on that standing leg if you haven't done it yet. Let's go one more on this side before we switch. All right, let's switch sides. Step it back. Remember, you can have that soft bend in that standing leg. Try not to lock out there. That soft bend is really gonna help you to stabilize and feel that in your glute. One more rep. 2, 1, and rest. 2 more movements here. You've got that hinge with the YW. Again, this should feel really nice and juicy for that upper back. And we're firing up those glutes. We're there in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hinge, YW. Keep that upper back super engaged. Think about where you are looking. If you're rounding and tucking that chin to your chest, then you're gonna feel that in your low back. We do not want that. We want you to feel this in your glutes and in your hamstrings. The only thing you should be feeling in your back is that engagement from that Y to that W. Ten more seconds. For 5, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. One more movement, ending with some glutes and core. Starting with that side plank, set yourself up, make sure everything is stacked underneath each other. We're there in 3, 2, 1. We're up. Hold it here, then we add in that knee drive and leg lift, not rushing through it. Adding a little bit of a stability challenge here as you're moving that top leg. We're switching sides in 3, 2, and 1. Flip it over. Almost there, y'all. Last 10 seconds, stay with me here. Focus on that form, keep breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Awesome, awesome work, everyone. Let's go ahead and stretch it out, cool it down. Meet me standing. You might be laying on your back, that's totally fine. I'll give you a variation to do there. We're gonna get straight into those glutes. We're gonna go for a standing figure 4. So crossing our ankle over the top of the opposite knee, we sit it down as if we're sitting down on a chair. You should feel that nice stretch in that glute and opening up in that hip, and we'll just hold it here. If you're laying down, you can take this shape just on your back and you can hug that shape in towards your chest. You're here for 3, 2, 1. Shake it out, we'll go to the other side. Standing figure 4. Try not to round too far forward here. Keep that weight in your heel. All right, we sit down here, just holding it, breathe for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake that out. Meet me in a low runner's lunge. You're gonna drop that back knee, kind of like that world's greatest stretch that we did, but the back knee is down. We're just gonna lunge it forward here, opening up in that hip. If you have blocks or books at home, bring the floor closer to you, pop your hands there. This should feel really nice there. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. We'll get into those hamstrings since we did a lot of work there. Same thing, if you have blocks or books here, hold it here. That front foot stays flexed and we send the hips back. And just breathe. For 3, 2. All right, and from here, just send those hips directly back. We'll get into that hamstring since we did so much hamstring work today. Keep that front foot flexed. We hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Other knee comes forward, then we lunge it forward, opening up in that opposite hip. For 3, 2, 1. Send it back, same thing here. This is my less flexible side, so I'm really exposed right now, but you know, we're all human. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stepping up to the top of your mat. Nice forward fold here. Just let everything go. Let it hang heavy. Release in your glutes, your low back. And then we'll slowly, slowly roll it up. Head is the last thing to come up. All right, check it out. Awesome job today, everyone. Again, my name is Kat from Session. That was your full body strength and mobility. This is Well+Good's Trainer of the Month Club. If you liked what you saw, if you want more videos just like this, go ahead and subscribe.